Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today we are working on a 2017 Titan XD, and we are doing the rear differential. So I'll give you kind of an idea. Now, I did spray these down with WD-40 ahead of time. So, two things that you want to do first. One, you want to pick up 2 quarts of 75 W140 by Valvoline. It's full synthetic. It's great for the rear differential. And you want to pick up one of these, I guess, transmission differential case kits. Super useful. And this one is going to be actually the S3/8. And one thing you want to check first and foremost, is you want to make sure that you can open the fill. Okay, I always get this confused. So you want to make sure that your fill port opens up, because if it doesn't, you're going to not be able to fill it, so why drain it? So let's go to the bottom. This is your drain plug. And same thing, make sure you spray it down with WD-40 pretty well, and then you basically just want to disconnect that. And you don't need a lift. You can definitely do this in your driveway. And just be ready for a little bit of a mess. And it's actually, it doesn't look that bad, but we're going to clean it anyway. It has a little bit of a burnt smell. Alright, so that is just about drained. And we'll drain pretty quick because there's not a lot in there. So I'm going to make sure that I break this top one loose a little bit more. And this one's being a little stubborn. Actually, this thing's being a whole lot stubborn, so we're not manually doing this completely. Alright, so that's your top. And this does have a little rubber gasket, as well as I think the bottom one did as well. So we're actually going to clean this off a little bit. Because I don't trust rubber seals 100%, especially after they've aged a little bit. So we're going to put some Permatex thread sealant on this. So we're done dripping, which I think we're pretty close. So let's get this. I'm just going to do a quick coat around. It's actually way too much. Alright, so we're just about done dripping. Okay, so that's good. So we're going to put this back in here. Back down. Okay. And you don't have to make it He-Man tight, but torque this back. So, alright, so that's nice and sealed. Now, for the rear, we're going to be using this 75 W140. And it's got this. Of course, with gloves makes it a little challenging, so get hand again the Leatherman out. I'll pull that seal off, and get the cap off. Of course, when your hands are greasy, nothing works, right? Okay, we're gonna snap this open. I'm gonna be pretty aggressive. We're gonna go about halfway. I thought I was going to be able to do it with the plier end, but let's get the knife out. Right, so that's nice and off. So it does have a natural curve to it, which is pretty cool because you can start filling this up pretty easy. You just want to squirt it in, kind of like roll it in. So first quart we know is going to go in no problem. But actually fills it really quick. We're going to back out. And you're going to just roll it like a tube of toothpaste. A little dried out here today. Alright, so that was that. We're going to actually recycle that top. Make things a lot easier. We have 2 quarts. Of course, everything's nice and greasy now. And again, we'll just recycle this top. And again, I like how it's got the natural flair to it. And we'll just get that in. Now this you want to pay particular attention to. So when it's full, it's going to want to squirt back out at you. That's why you don't want to keep it too far out. Okay, so where we last left off, I actually had to cut filming a little bit because I was actually, from what I found online, for the Titan it actually called for 2 quarts of the 75-140, but after we started filling it, obviously it was not completely filled. So I had to go out and get another quart of the 75-140. So my delusion is it's not going to take it all, but we need a little bit more just to get it to where we need the proper level on this. So let's get going, and I'm going to get my drip tray just to Alright, so we got our drip tray installed, and again I'm going to recycle this other tip on here just so we can keep everything nice and easy. And like I said, these pull tabs are not the greatest, but that's why we have handy dandy plier. Alright, let's take this tip off. That's that. Okay. And again, let's try to get the right angle on here. I'm just going to keep pouring until it comes out. Okay, so I think we're just about there, and yeah, to my surprise, it's actually taken, sounds a little gassy. Okay, 2. So it takes 3 full quarts. Do the toothpaste roll here because I want to make sure we have this completely filled up properly. Okay, so I'm going to step on my step stool here real quick. So you kind of get, so if you kind of look in there, I don't know if the camera angle is good, but it is like right on the edge. So kind of like move it around so you can kind of see a little bit, depending on the camera angle. But it's filled up to right where it's got to be, so that's perfect. And it took 3 quarts. Online, the specs for the Titan, it was showing that everything took it took about like it said 2 quarts, but anyway. So we're just gonna clean this drip up a little bit, and we're gonna put our cap back on. Again, clean the threads, and at the end of this there is a magnet, so you want to get any of that gook off there. And the same thing with the bottom one, it had a magnet on there. I didn't show it on film when I cleaned it, but it was there. And then we're going to put some of this Permatex seal on this. Just a quick swipe. And it does have a rubber seal, but I always want to make sure that we don't have any leaking issues. And then we just put this back into place. And then torque the spec. And we're good to go. So you see how that Permatex makes a nice little coating on the outside, so you know that the threads are completely covered, and you're safe and you're good to go on that one. Okay, so that is, there wasn't too much left in there. So yeah, it took just about 3 quarts. So we're going to move down, and we are going to do the front